Look at how much it cuts down noise there. So I'm gonna grab that.
Cool. Need anything else?
There you go.
It's the most excited I've ever been about exhaust systems in my life. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of PlayStation Underground. You got Tim here and also Sid.
Well, how do you do?
Hey Sid, how's it going?
It's going well. Looking forward to this one. Really appreciating the polish I am seeing on this.
Oh yeah.
I think Ben Studios really kind of used these last few months wisely. I see like just a nice, it just looks really buttoned up to me.
And I really like the stylized, we're here with Days Gone on PS4 Pro, but yeah, I really like, in addition to just the sort of like really convincing visuals, but like the style of the, the mechanic bench against the back there. This is Copeland's camp, so we're about an hour into the game, and we're going to show off a little bit of the open world. So before we hit the road, though, Sid, I wanted to show you. I got some new upgrades here. So I got to level 1. Basically, by completing some quests, you unlock some reputation with the camp. And in this case, Manny here has some additional upgrades for me. I already...
Fascinating.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a better fuel tank now, so we can ride around a little bit better, extend our road trip.
Always helpful in the freaker apocalypse.
So helpful. And then this one I was thinking about. So this has always been my issue with using motorcycles in a post-apocalyptic world. You want to stay stealthy, right? But you can actually upgrade your exhaust. So look at how much it cuts down noise there. So I'm gonna grab that.
Cool. Need anything else?
There you go.
It's the most excited I've ever been about exhaust systems in my life.
Back to work.
And so I actually have pinpointed a spot that I think would be pretty cool to check out once we roll out of camp here.
Let's do it. Yeah, this is looking nice.
Thank you for opening that gate. So one cool thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to swipe right on the touchpad.
Ooh.
So Boozer's hanging out up here. Again, I'm about an hour in. I've been kind of looking for some supplies to help out Boozer. But since it's opened up a little bit, I've been sort of exploring a little bit. I want to show you this spot right up here.
You got a hot spot for us.
I got a hot spot.
All right.
So in this time, I've been kind of getting acclimated with riding the bike around, and it's been feeling really good. You can drift with the circle button, but also like there's some nuances that are really cool, like coasting down hills to conserve on gas. So you're actually only using any fuel when you are actually accelerating. So
that's a nice tip there.
Yeah, I like that one.
I'm digging this environment quite a bit too. This is set in the Pacific Northwest, which is not a setting we see a whole lot in the gaming world, or at least not to this point, and has just a really unique, very natural beauty look to it. It's really pretty. There was actually a moment the other day where I was playing, and like sometimes it's rainy, sometimes it's really sunny, and you'll hear birds chirping, and I forgot I was in a post-apocalyptic game because it was just really beautiful. Taking a shortcut. And so, as you see on the lower right, there are some icons next to the mini-map. There is this sort of screwdriver and wrench, looking like a skull and crossbones kind of, and then the gasoline icon. And those are some of where like the lighter survival elements of the game come into place. Okay.
When I crossed that stream, I think I might have dinged the bike a little bit, so lost some of the durability. If that takes too much damage, your bike is toast. You got to do like a field repair. Yeah, and then there's gas, which we upgraded a little bit of the tank, but there's been some tense encounters where, I've had to like coast into camp and just barely got in to refuel, because if you run out of gas out here, not good at all. So we've arrived at our destination, and we were talking a little bit about like coasting down hills to save gas. One thing that I've learned, and I would recommend to folks, is when you approach something like this, where it looks like, I don't know, there could be some freakers around.
This is one of their feeding grounds, isn't it? Yeah.
So this is one of the mass burials, and I'm just kind of walking my bike, and that is actually not as slow as you'd think it would be. And it's a good way to save gas when you're exploring, but you want to kind of stay on your toes and be able to bail. And something Sid, you and I learned when we were playing the game last was to make sure to have an exit strategy.
Yes, very important in this game. I mean, one of the things I learned very quickly with my limited hands-on time with Days Gone is nothing is very routine in this game. Yeah. Anything can happen at pretty much any point.
which is why I wanted to make sure to position the bike so I got an easy getaway.
Smart.
I've been interested in checking out this MMU, which are kind of like environmental puzzles. So this one, I think, we've seen some examples where if you get the power, you have to get the power generator turned on.
Figures.
And a lot of times there will be alarms that will get set off here.
That's not good. Freakers respond to noise, right?
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of freakers, there's some pretty ominous music that's kicked in here. They hibernate during the day.
Way onto the roof.
But I'm still kind of staying on my toes here.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I have all the doors are locked on this one, so I'm gonna give this a shot.
See, this is what happens when you don't put your parking brake on.
It's true.
People could just shove, like when you're not around, people shove your cars around and use them to solve puzzles.
It's an epidemic. It's a real problem.
Some things never change in the freaker apocalypse.
You say freakers are the problem. I think it's people moving your cars around.
So what's the point? Like, why would you want to get into this place?
So there are, this is Nero's mobile medical unit. Oh, dear. Oh, God. Hold that thought. All right. All right. So I think that we've stumbled upon a smaller horde. Sorry. I'm trying to equip my pistol here. Okay. I'm going to detach my silencer. So, so this is a horde. 1 second here.
Fun.
I also have a little bit.
Oh, nice one.
All right, so that's not even, I think, half of the problem addressed here. I'm going to grab my handy-dandy bandage here as well. So I have encountered a smaller horde like this a couple times. The strategy that I like to employ here is to kite them around as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You got to really look the devil in the eye here in some situations.
Oof.
Oh, no. All right. And sometimes you just got to keep moving.
Yep.
My stamina is not incredible, but one other strategy here, I'm going to actually pull out my Molotovs, and hopefully I get a little bit of a conga line here. Here we go.
Oh,
okay.
Nice one.
Okay. And I'm going to recommend also that you do a few dodge rolls in there.
Yeah.
And one thing I've noticed too is you'll always have the one guy who's just nipping your heels, and you want to take them out because they can really throw off your rhythm here.
Oosh.
Okay.
This is getting a little
Sid,
freaky.
My heart is racing. Okay.
What's the plan?
I'm gonna also kite them past these barrels, and hope that I can get enough of them bunched around it at once to thin them out.
All right.
Okay.
That helped.
That worked out all right. And again, trying to not run constantly, not to drain my stamina, because you're going to need it in bursts.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, they've Ben Studios pointed out a number of times that Deacon is sort of no athlete.
And he makes comments about that, too. He's like, oh, man, I need to get in shape, which I can relate to.
It's the one thing I can relate to with Deacon, I think.
So let's see. This is, and this is not a bad. Okay. All right. Oh, you see, that's what I'm saying. You got to be careful about the guys that are nipping your heels there. So
I like this this inventory management system. It's a little bit reminiscent of Horizon, but
the weapon wheels is really slick, and I love that you can craft within it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which, speaking of that, the Molotovs are so handy. But I got one left, it looks like. So this might be another good opportunity for a pipe bomb I picked up. I haven't learned how to craft these, but I have encountered some in the wild. Okay. I think we have another explosive barrel. Oh, God. Grab some ears. Okay, here it is. Okay, good. Okay. You see, but I don't want just the one guy. I want all of them.
Excellent. Now, this is actually a pretty small horde.
It is. This is one of the more manageable hordes. Oh, no. What have I done?
Oh,
what
boy.
have I done?
Careful.
Oh, geez.
Just slap a Band-Aid on there. You're good to go.
Yep. Okay. All right. Let me think.
You could hop on the bike and get out of Dodge.
I could, but I tried. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to do one more bandage here. Craft a few. He's so fast at crafting these.
Yeah. Got those quick fingers. Okay.
That helps.
Now, worth pointing out that these things are not zombies. They are actually alive.
Yeah.
And there is sort of this ecosystem element to it. That's one of the reasons we're at this feeding ground here, this mass burial site, and this is where these things congregate. And they feed there. And there's some other places in the game as well, caves and sort of dark corners that they will hibernate in. So you always want to keep your eyes peeled, and could be a horde hiding anywhere.
And there's a variety of, sometimes there's hordes, sometimes there's also nests. And if you clear out nests with Molotovs like this, you'll also kind of thin out the freaker numbers in that area. So it'll be a little bit, if you want to do some exploring, it'll be a little bit more manageable.
Yeesh.
Yeah, I know. I think we're making good, steady progress on these guys. There's some more explosive containers over here.
Did you get a look at how many were left?
Oh yeah, that's another good tip. Is just not being afraid to look the devil in the eye a little bit and see how many are on your tail.
There you go. What about that big sword on your back?
It's a great idea.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's actually a lawnmower blade.
Perfect.
See. We got one more.
A sling blade, isn't that what they're called?
Yeah, like a. Is that what those are called?
I think so.
We got it. Okay, actually, that's the Death Train Horde. Okay. And so that will also get me some rep with Copeland's Camp and unlock a second level of like bike upgrades. And as you see here, there's a Horde killer sort of challenge that you're working towards.
And there's a lot of hordes in this game, and that was, as we pointed out, a very small one.
Yeah, one's much bigger than that. But
much bigger.
Thought it would be cool to be able to kind of like, and you get experience points and can unlock new skills. So now that we have some new skills.
I love this UI, by the way, using the touch bar on the touchpad on the DualShock 4.
So you see like sort of the compass in the upper right, and this is kind of like a nerdy thing to get excited about, but I'm into it. And then, I'm swiping up, right and left, and it's just really nifty to go straight from gameplay into the specific menus. But I'm in skills here, and I've already invested in focus, which I would recommend making it basically your first skill spent. It's basically a little slow down time and can breathe a little bit. And I think that I might have unlocked something that reduces the cooldown of focus, which is really good. So that the lawnmower blade that we were talking about, it is a really powerful melee weapon when it comes down to it, but there is some durability with it, which is where one of the sort of lighter survival elements come into play. But you can actually spend some of the scrap that you use on bike upgrades and other things to repair some of your melee weapons. So if you really like that lawnmower blade, you can hang on to it longer.
Like for melee fans, it's a skill probably worth looking into.
Yes. So, all right.
Coast is clear.
What were we? Where were we? So one tip here we were talking about before that horde rudely interrupted us. We want to disable these alarms, and that'll help us once the power is activated. The sort of like Nero evacuation or emergency message won't play. So,
oh, clever.
So I see two of them there. We got it.
Now, obviously, if you don't do this, you are sort of tempting fate here.
Oh, yeah. And if that horde hadn't already seen you and those started going off, like, you're done.
Out of gas.
I think I saw a gas can around here somewhere.
Yeah. Let's go find that. Yeah, Deacon can never catch a break, it seems. So we'll go hunt down a gas can. If I remember, I saw something red I wanted to shoot when the horde was chasing me over here.
And one of the things I like about this game, too, is there have been a number of games that are set in sort of an apocalyptic kind of world. Everything from Horizon Zero Dawn, which is like really, really far in the future. This game is, I want to say, Ben Studios said it's maybe 2 years or so, approximately, after sort of this freaker outbreak.
Yeah.
So things are decrepit and dilapidated, but they are, in some cases, still functional.
And then another cool thing, like speaking of, it's not like a totally, like there is still technology like within the Nero medical units that you can find. But another cool touch, speaking of how many days it's passed, like it counts down the number of days that have occurred since, the freaker virus sort of swept the area. So I'm going to go ahead and I could also, what I like also about the gas can is I could use it to power the generator here. I could use it to refill my bike. I could use it as an explosive when I'm, kiting a horde around and trying to take down enemies. So I like the different options there.
Hit that primer.
Get in there.
Green lights are good.
So what kind of goodies we gonna expect in here?
So there's usually some generally good crafting materials. Like I can replenish some of my Molotov resources here, my med kits. But the crown jewel of any MMU that you're gonna get access to is this Nero injector. These are really powerful. So like, for example, I was taking some hits during that fight, but I was able to heal. I had enough med kits. Focus was great, but the real problem I think with that was my stamina.
Yeah.
So I, choosing to lean in that direction, and you saw his stamina meter just increase a little bit there, which is really handy. So
we've learned another lesson here from Days Gone and the Freaker Apocalypse. Just grab needles, jam them in your arm.
Anything. Yeah.
Everything helps.
Yeah. He actually, in the first one, it's funny you say that, in the first time that you see that, he picks up the injector and he's just like, why not? Basically. It's like, what do I have to lose?
I love it.
So that was a pretty successful stint there.
Yeah, nicely done.
Thank you.
And this is like, what, you said an hour or two into the game?
Yeah, and you can already take on some Freaker hordes, and this one is just north of one of your first camps here. But one thing I can show off, too, is some of the one cool element is the fast travel. In keeping with sort of the light survival element of the game, you can't just fast travel. Once you go to Copeland's camp and have your home base, you can't just fast travel from one point to another. You actually do need to basically earn the right to do it by clearing nests that might be blocking the way.
I see.
So I can actually head down here. And
yeah, you actually need to spend gas to use fast travel as well.
Yeah, so there is a cost. You spend some gas and you got to fuel up. If you're at the camp, you have to pay for that. But if you're at your home base, you have some gas that you can use on your own. And then aside from just exploring the open world, some of the things I've been up to is again trying to help Boozer recover from some injuries that he sustained. And there's this ongoing mystery of Sarah, Deacon's wife, and trying to kind of maybe find out what's going on there. We have another Nero unit here, but yeah, that's sort of like a good look at two of, I'd say, like the main enticing elements of Days Gone, as far as the MMUs, and then also just taking on Freaker hordes. We also have a nest up here, if we wanted to take a look at anything else.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Okay, cool. I can get back on the bike there, and we can head in that direction. And what's nice is that the bike actually shows up on your minimap, so that you won't lose track of it. It's super important because I think, you're not going to want to go out without the bike. It's not just like an option. You see, now that I'm on it, I can actually quick save.
Yep.
So it is essentially like your lifeline in the world. So I'll actually go back to where Boozer's hanging out, and then I'll gas up from there.
Perfect. So what's standing out to you? You've had a little bit of time with the game. What's been standing out to you most, would you say?
So it's really a confluence of things. I think there's just enough survival mechanics with the bike management and the upgrades, and upgrading Deacon, but also the weapon durability that it scratches a lot of the itches I have for that sort of genre. But I've never gone whole hog in survival games where it's just like you're managing hunger,
and thirst
and sleep.
Yeah,
like you can sleep in this game, but it just advances time.
Mm-hmm.
So it has just that right amount of it. But also, I don't know if I've played that I can think of personally a open world game that sort of satisfied this sort of post-apocalyptic survival element of like all these cannibalistic creatures around you. Like, I'm a sucker for, we were talking a little bit earlier today, games like, Infamous Second Son, where you're slowly reclaiming parts of a map and sort of, staking your claim. And the idea that you can clear out these nests and make it a little bit safer to explore. And then the satisfaction of taking down a horde. I'd say taking down the horde has been one of my favorite elements of the game.
That's cool. And one of the things about this game, too, is you never know exactly what's going to happen. So we don't know if we're going to come across maybe a Rager Bear or another horde as we kind of make our way here. And I think that's what's going to be really fun to see. You and I had an experience when we were playing a little while ago where we were on a sort of a bounty mission. We were taking out a bad guy. Oh, what do we have here?
I was just seeing if I could
just
cause
some
a little bit
riffraff.
of a ruckus. Just to see if what you're mentioning is some of the emergent things that can happen. usually, you know, you're mentioning that we were fighting some enemies.
Careful.
I think I'm out of
no
ammo
nitrous.
there. But you can also ram enemies on your bike, which can be, you know, there we go. Give him a little
playful nudge there.
But I'll leave him be for now. Oh, excuse me, tree. But we were just taking on a mission. We were going after a bounty, actually, and
we cleared out the camp, and we were starting to loot. There's loot everywhere in this game. Oh, nice. No, that's gonna take a toll on your bike.
That's the trade-off.
But we were clearing out this camp, looting bandages and ammo, and which gun do I want? And there's a bunch of different rarities to weapons. There's all different classes of weapons. There's a lot of cool loot stuff. We were a couple seconds into that, and just this horde just drops down.
There must have been one nearby that we didn't know about.
Yeah, and I mean, it was like a tidal wave. It made that last horde we saw look puny in comparison.
They just flowed in all at once, and it was like, you know, you end up in this rhythm with some, you know, open world style games where it's like, okay, I cleared out, or any game, and you clear out the area, and you're like, okay, I've earned my freedom to go and root around and open every drawer. But you would cause such a ruckus that it's like there was a consequence to how loud that firefight got, which is sort of another side of the coin of, like, you know, being stealthy is great in that it makes encounters a little bit easier, and you can, you know, save some ammo, but also just reducing the risk of bringing a horde down on you is another reason to go for stealth.
Indeed.
So that was cool. We'll see.
Love this lighting. This is really, really cool.
Yeah, so we've seen now that it's like advanced from, we started basically in the morning when we were on our way to that MMU, all the way to it's starting to rain a little bit.
Get some dusk going on here.
Yeah, and also this is more than just like a cool change of scenery.
Yep.
It does make the freakers who hibernate during the day come out at night, and they're stronger.
They're stronger. I think we were talking to the Ben Studios folks, and they were saying that one of the things about freakers is that their metabolism is very, very high, which is one of the things that drives them to eat, and means they also overheat. So it's one of the reasons that they, you know, they like to be particularly active at night when it's cooler. Another one is snow is an emphasis in this game, and that's been shown in the past. I think maybe it was E3 a year or two back, but they also are much tougher when things get colder. So snow is actually not a great time to run into freakers.
Where in some post-apocalyptic, you know, stories, it is actually like an advantage. It'll slow down your enemies and stuff like that.
These things are alive. It's a little different.
Yeah. So this should be a. Oh no! This is way more active than I could have imagined.
What's the plan?
Okay. Yeah, the plan. So have I taken my own advice? Have I parked my bike in a strategic manner? I don't know.
The classic is you park it like you do in real life, like right up against the wall, and then you can't get out when you need to.
It's like this apocalypse will reward any of those folks who are militant about backing into the parking spot. They
annoy me like crazy in real life, but they're going to be the ones to survive this.
Okay. I want to save my. Man, this is a tough one. So there probably wouldn't be this many freakers if I had come here during the day. But I can thin them out a little bit here.
Nice dodge.
Again, that's going to come in handy.
I love games with dodge. It's just so much fun.
Come on.
And the stamina meter. Oh, I got.
Ooh. Careful.
Yeah. You gotta think on your feet a lot. So I have a lot of crafting materials, but not enough to make a Molotov right at this very minute. I used a lot on my horde encounter there.
Unfortunate. Nicely done.
Yeah. And I can also lean on my...
There you go. I was going to suggest that. Ooh.
Down you go.
Down you go.
You know, I spent some more time with Deacon while playing the game, and he is like... He's kind of a goofball. In some scenarios, he's very, like... When he's on his own, you can tell that he's spent a lot of time by himself, and... Oh, man! I did not see him coming at all. And he kind of like will make comments on radio shows and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
And he just kind of cracks himself up sometimes. It's kind of funny. Okay.
This is good tactics work here.
I'm trying. Okay, you got one down.
Oh, melee takes away your stamina as well?
That's right.
Just like in real life. When I get into crowd battles like this in real life, I get tired real quick.
It is fun to watch you throw down this, I'll admit. Okay, I think Is this the nest over here?
Yeah, I think
wonder
it is.
They
It looks
might
like it.
be continuing to generate around here, so maybe I would need to come back with. You know, there's probably a gas can or something nearby that I might be able to toss in there. I'll take a couple pot shots here since I got a minute.
They're definitely tougher.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think I was taking down freakers in about about three hits before, and with my melee, and
Bow gun.
it's taking a little bit extra. Okay.
You gotta have a bow gun.
Okay. So let's see if I got enough for a Molotov. I think I might just be missing one reg, and it's like really cleanly laid out for you. I'll switch back to the machete. You can see when I'm looking over the materials in the middle there, I can see I'm just missing one reg. So let's take a quick look here.
Surely there's something around here. Discarded pair of underpants.
Yeah, just use your own.
Just use your own. There you go. You can hide in these things, right?
Yeah, that's right. So I totally could have hidden in there. Let me just take a jump.
Yeah, just dive in. A little dumpster dive. Nothing wrong with that.
So great when freakers are bearing down on you, if you just need to take a breather. But also, if you do that while there's human enemies around,
I don't think they'll fall for it.
They don't. They don't fall for it. Oh, my poor bike.
Aw.
Got Swarmer ear. So I'll just take a look here.
It's got to be something. Deacon's a smart guy. You can figure this out.
Yeah. Oh, and this is also I think a tree that I can use to craft some more bolts for my.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and some scrap. So if you look close enough, you're gonna find some good stuff. A lot of times, also it's not every car, but the treasure chest sort of the world, so to speak, can be trunks.
I mean, in real life, I find that to be true as well.
Yeah, I mean, especially a flatbed truck like this, it's just like, hey, well, that's mine now. And then you'll also get scrap from underneath the hood sometimes. So, oh, is this it?
Precious rag.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
I was so worried. Okay, so we might be able to take this little
That's a nest.
here.
This is
and
very satisfying.
be a good way to close out our episode here. Is one of the other activities. Oh, that newt did not like that at all. Or no, that's not. That freaker. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. Guys. Okay, so they've depleted me of some of my
Precious stamina.
precious stamina and ammo.
Oof.
All right. Get one more shot with
Oh,
my
nicely
focus
done.
there, and then hopefully clean her out here.
Great.
She's earned the rest.
There you go.
So that'll blaze down that nest, and again, like make this area a little bit quieter at night, and allow me to explore a little bit more. And like, there's a lot to explore. More nests around here that I could clear out. The map expands. I think my next mission has me going even further west, so there's a lot more to do here. But
it's pretty big, yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. Like, I'm excited to like burn a whole weekend or 2 or 3 and just dig into this. But it's been a lot of fun. There's not that much time to wait either. It's out on April 26th, and you can grab Days Gone.
Fantastic.
So,
well, thank you, Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for watching this episode of PlayStation Underground. We'll see you next time.
PlayStation